Thanks, Steve. So now with the strong possibility of an appeal in this election law case, we sought some legal perspective.
Channel 2's Ron Plants found out that while these may seem like unique circumstances in this very unusual campaign, there is some legal history out there.
Judge Sinatra gave a reasoned decision.
And that's why attorney Barry Covert feels an appeal by the Walton campaign would be an uphill battle before the appellate court judges with this central point in legal reasoning.
There is a preference in the law and in rulings under the Constitution that we expand rather than restrict the individuals that are available for citizens to vote for. So there will be some strong case law in support.
In fact, the Brown campaign hired attorney Brian Sells of Atlanta, a voting rights specialist, as they argued that state guidelines for earlier candidacy filing petitions, modified by state lawmakers with COVID conditions, were too restrictive in this case under the First and 14th Amendments and actually violated the federal constitutional rights of voters.
The case we relied on comes from the 1980 election and John Anderson. And that is the main precedent in this area where petition deadlines are concerned.
A spokesman for Erie County Board of Elections, which was actually the target of the Brown campaign in the case, notes that a state judge in a related proceeding today ruled in a similar fashion to Judge Sinatra. So now, with ballot certification next week and military federal ballots going out on September 17th, there's a seemingly tight window for an appeal, if there is one, and if the appellate court agrees to take it up. But
they may well have to have an expedited calendar, but that is not unheard of. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's not all that rare, especially on elections law cases.
Now, Walton, who again you heard in Steve Brown's report, slammed Judge Sinatra, and his brother did acknowledge that more legal action is going to be costly for her campaign, but she hopes this latest development gets national attention like her primary win and perhaps encourages that second cert of appeals to take it up, because those judges can opt to take a pass on an appeal request if it comes in, Scott.
All right, I got to ask you a quick question, Ron. You and I were discussing this earlier in the newsroom, too.
Okay.
Byron Brown was talking about the Write Down Byron Brown campaign. Now,
yes.
He's going to be on the ballot right now. If somebody still decides to write in his name, will that count as a vote for Byron Brown?
Yeah, and after we discussed it, I decided to check with the Board of Elections, and 2 or 3 people over there told me specifically no. According to them, if Brown remains on the ballot, any write-in vote would be disqualified.
So they're going to have to get the word out that he will be on it.
That'll be up to their campaign.
If the appeal goes through.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it a lot.